Yeah, excited
Glad to
about this
finally
one,
make
man.
it on here, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this one. Everybody, this is episode 99 of the Carrying the Culture show. We got LA Graff Vet, one of the nicest cats I've seen in a minute. Wasn't familiar with him until not too long ago. It's a lot of dope cats doing it from LA. We're excited though, because we don't get a lot of graph writers on here. So Trixter, LA, holding it down, West Coast Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for rocking with us, man.
Yeah, man. Humbled to be here. I've been checking your show. You got a lot of shit going on. You got some legends on here, so honored.
No, I appreciate you, man. I mean, you're a legend in your own right, and you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of your a lot of the pieces that you've done. I'm like, damn, like so. I want to get into a lot of shit, man. I'm really pumped about this because, like I said,
too, man. I appreciate it.
We don't get a lot of writers, and so but this is important to me because it's part of my history. So, couple ground rules, everybody. If you guys got questions, please use the questions feature below, like somebody already has done, and then if I get to them, we can pull them up. That way, we can pull them up from everybody.
Yeah.
And also, if you get on any crazy shit, the comments in here, just I'll send your ass home. So just be respectful, and we can have a good time. So, let's jump right into it, man. Background, that's always really an important thing for me.
Yeah.
I did live on the West Coast. I mean, I lived in LA for a minute when I was younger. I got family out there, but where are you as far as Southern California goes?
I mean, before I get into that, I just wanted to say, like, the reason why I even was down for this is because, like, you give a good, like, profile of, like, the culture, not just the graph, and, like, you know, you paint that whole picture. So that's what I'm all about. So that's kind of what I'm gonna get into in, like, my little story or whatever. But it all came about by a mix of all the elements. It wasn't just about graffiti, you know. Graffiti just kind of became the thing through, like, natural, you know, organic things that happened in my life or my influences. But yeah, I grew up in West LA, born and raised in Los Angeles. My folks, like, had a Italian restaurant in Westwood. It was like kind of like the legacy, because that's where it really all began, where we were just like skateboarding around, going to the arcade, you know, like just being knucklehead kids. And kind of that's like the foreground of, like, how it really started was that, which is pretty cool. Just like I don't know, early on I could just think about it like it wasn't even about graffiti. I was more into, like, music first, you know, like record collecting, and, like, I was, like, copying, like, you know, record covers like Aerosmith and Metallica and Iron Maiden and all this shit. And, like, then came along hip hop and kind of changed everything, you know, like, I think, shit, I was like, really, Run DMC was, like, the first shit that I heard, you know, that really got me pumped. I'm talking about, like, you know, like 12 years old or something, like 11. I don't know.
Okay. So,
you know, so I think when I first, like, they had a couple albums out. Like, the first shit I heard was, I think it was Tougher Than Leather or no, the Raising Hell album. Raising Hell was like, what, 87, 88?
86.
Yeah.
86.
Yeah, that was, like, the pivotal moment when everything sort of shifted from, like, skateboarding and, like, you know, like, more rock stuff, like sort of like, you know, I was more into, like, classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, you know, that kind of shit.
That's all dope though. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that was some bullshit though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was so blessed, man, because my mom just gave me this whole record collection that was just kind of like so many different influences from like funkadelic to, like, you know, like Jeff Beck, like, who know, like, all this random shit that I got.
Right.
And I just started digging in the crates, and it really just opened my mind. I was just like, wow, like, this is kind of what I ended up doing, because Trixter, like, I'll tell you about it later, but really DJing was, like, my thing. So it kind of made sense. So it went from, like, skateboarding, like being born out of skateboarding, the tricks, you know, you do on a skateboard, to, like, how you, you know, do your techniques on a turntable. And so, like, the thing, it just, like, stuck, like, through the years. Like, it was something that, it's funny because I wrote a gang of shit. Like, I wrote a few different tags before I wrote Trixter, but it was like Explore, Fear, a couple other random ones that it was like one-offs and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm rambling. But yeah, you get an idea of, like, how it really all became like a thing in my life was the influences from my family, right? So like my mom was an artist, single mother. My sister was like a musician. She played the piano and stuff. And like, so that shit really kind of had like we were just like creative household, you know?
Right.
Yes.
So were you like, hey, real quick, are you looking at a computer screen or something?
Yeah, I just like pulled up some flicks and stuff to.
Oh, okay. No, it was just because it was like, it was hard to tell when you were like, stop talking, because it was like, because I was like, oh, he's looking at something else. So it was throwing me off for a second.
Yeah. I was actually pulling up some flicks to like, to just run through. I don't know, like just while I'm talking, I don't really need to be on the screen.
Yeah, of course. So how did you, as far as like, when did the graff bug like hit? I mean, because for me, it was like it just became once. I mean, I was growing up in Connecticut, and I was going to New York, and I was just seeing all the graffiti on the way on the highways, and then once I get into the Bronx,
right,
it was just like, holy shit,
everywhere. Yeah.
So it was like, that was when it really hit for me. You started in, I think, with 1990, right? So,
yeah, around then, 90, 91. Didn't really get serious.
So like, how did that? What was the like thing for you where you're like, yo, I gotta just get busy?
Well, yeah. The thing is like, I was also blessed to have some mentors. That's not really a thing in graffiti anymore. And like just the pureness of it back then was different. Like people understand that everything was stolen, like from the paint to the caps to the space where you put your piece to the disposable camera to the film that you went and got after it got developed. Like every aspect of it was sort of like, you know, you're taking back space and stuff, like you know what I mean? Like every aspect was sort of like a criminal thing back then.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you wrecked everything, yo. I mean,
yeah, but like all my friends were into it, so it was kind of like, you know, like we had like out in LA at least, like we didn't have subways, so not trains, but the buses were our trains, you know. So we would scribe on the RTD and the buses and stuff. So getting into mentors, like I met this cat Jojo. He came from Philly in like 90, 92, 90, yeah, around that time. And
big up to the Philly hands, man.
Yeah, no doubt, because really, like just growing up in LA and all the influences I saw, like, yeah, I saw shit on the freeways. I saw, you know, Oil and Chaka and all those dudes, you know, putting their work in back then. I saw like the East Side guys like STN, K2S, the West Coast dudes, the West Coast artists, Risk, and like a bunch of Whisk and Sir, and all these guys. I mean, this city was bombed back then.
Right.
Yeah, it was cool. So like those influences were real kind of critical, and it shifted like I had a b-boy influence, a real hip hop influence. Like I wasn't necessarily, my letters were like weird and like sort of like experimental and like didn't really have much foundation, you know, as far as like New York style. Like it didn't have any of that. And so really stressing like how mentors are kind of lost now, you know, and that's something that really helped me kind of get ahead. You know, someone, whether you're an MC or a beat maker or whatever it is, you have somebody that's like kind of better than you, that's put in more time, and they're kind of schooling you on stuff, and you can take bits and pieces of what they give you. You know what I mean? It's the influence is different.
Absolutely. And this is the third build I've had third in a row where my guest has said this exact same thing about having mentors. And Brother Jay, Apathy, and now you, and it makes sense. I mean,
it's a team. Nothing can stay the same forever, you know. It's like, yeah, I've seen like the questions you posted on your feed and stuff about graff, and it's like it's hard to explain like how this shit is happening, like how people are on the gram and like flossing, like
let's talk about that, yo, because I was gonna ask you about that. I mean, like I saw a dude, I follow him, but it was just weird to see him. Not to cut you off, I mean, sorry, like, so when you jump right into it, and it's on my list. He had his name on a hoodie on his merch, and he's out doing throwies, and I'm like, I don't understand, yo.
Yeah, I know. That's like a whole nother combo, like, because I kind of don't understand it either. I'm sure, you know, people are the hot boys out there putting in the real street work are you know, they're keeping tabs, and if they catch you, they're fucking you up. You know what I mean? So I don't put shit like that, or like, you know, like I'm an old man now. I don't even barely do the shit anymore. Like as far as like the illegal side, it's kind of opened up career paths for me, fortunately, like into design, into like graphics, and into different things like you know, fine art and different things. It's kind of, I have too much to risk now, you know. It's
yeah.
I think a lot of us used it as our schooling, as our way to kind of find ourselves within our art, you know. It actually is pretty dope for that, for like any kid from anywhere to kind of create an identity for himself through this art form, and gain some notoriety if you're good, or if you put in the work, or if you know, have persistence and longevity and style or whatever. It's like it's a pretty cool outlet. And it's almost like one of the foundation elements, maybe arguably the first element of hip hop, going back to like the caves and shit. We're talking about, you know, man writing on walls. It's probably pretty primal and primitive, you know, to like the way it is now. It's a trip, man.
So
it's like, yeah.
So wait, so then, because I mean, I asked this question, right? And the post got remixed or whatever, and somebody posted, because I said, how are cats out here, right, supposedly doing illegal shit, like super illegal shit, and getting it edited and getting sponsored? I don't understand. And not getting caught. And so then somebody remixed it and said, well, we do what the fuck we want. It was something like that. So
I think they don't
are dudes going to jail?
There's more like serious shit going on. Either they're turning a blind eye, or it's just kind of like I said, they're tallying information on the low. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. It's strange to me.
It's
like a whole internet culture. It's become. That's what I kind of despise, because I'm like a purist, you know. Like I don't even really pay attention to it.
Right. So then for you, like, you know, because I was gonna ask, you know, like, you know, you're not really out there like that anymore, right? I mean, like you said, I looked on your page. I mean, you got merch, you're doing shows and stuff like that, and I think you're doing a bunch of stuff and making a
project, creative projects. What's so cool is like after so long, you can kind of like pick and choose what you want to do, and that's like, to me, that's success. That's freedom, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of myself for that, for like just kind of taking something that really was like a hobby, that I didn't intend to like make it a career. It just happened to be like that. And I think going back to like the reason of like why you do things and like those influences, like my mom was an artist, but she never really made it as an artist. So to me, I was like, shit, I want to see what I could do with this. You know what I mean? Let me push it a step further.
Right.
So that's kind of, it's cool, man, because it's opened a lot of doors, like just through the years. And it's been like, it's trials and tribulations, of course, you know, not to get into all that stuff, but there's the down stuff about it too, like the egos and the beef and the this and the that. It's like drama, you know. But that was like more like juvenile stuff. Like since we were kids, that shit was like, you know, everyone wanted to, like, if you weren't gaining a name on the wall, you had to gain a name somewhere, another way. You know what I mean?
Right. That's dope. I want to go back for a second, man, because, you know, you got into, what's that?
Yeah, no, we should, man, because there's a lot. It's like, it's kind of hard to like peel back the layers, you know?
There's a lot of stuff, but you were talking about how like you got into this like you were skating first, you were listening to like rock and stuff like that, and so I've always been of the opinion, and based on history, that graffiti is a standalone thing. Like it's part of hip hop, but it's also like its own thing. Because I know a lot of writers that don't fuck with hip hop at all, like and they're just dope writers, and that's what they do. Some of the best writers I've seen, and so I think for personally, to me, it's both, and it's like, you know, like it's just interesting that for you, you know, you've had your
it was interconnected, but for a lot of people, it's not. Like, no, I get that too.
So
it's a whole nother aspect. That's why I mentioned it's like the oldest thing. It's come through years of like, you know, think about like LA's history of like the placas and the gangster shit, and like that was like before subway stuff. Like people don't realize like graffiti graffiti didn't start with the trains,
Right.
you know. But I don't know. I always go on tangents and shit. I don't even
No,
know.
speak. Yeah, I mean, it's we're just talking, man. Wherever
Yeah,
it goes,
exactly.
it goes. I got, you know, of course I got stuff I want to cover, but like if we're just freestyling, man, I'm like
Totally.
all high and shit, so it ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but that was what's important to me. I wanted to point that out because a lot of people are like, you know, it's a lot of people are just make it seem like graffiti is only a part of hip hop. I'm like, oh, listen, it is, but it's also its own thing, and it's also it stands by itself, man. I mean,
it's also changed and morphed, like, and you know, like now we have street art and all these things of like, for a long time I sort of like I don't know, shunned a little bit because I didn't really, I was, like I said, like more of like a graffiti purist.
right.
So I mainly do letters and I'm more about like bombing and stuff like that kind of shit, getting up trains and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now I've learned like, damn, just like embracing the change, like embracing all of it, like fuck it, like nothing can stay the same, right? Like look at hip hop, right? But now it's like it's commercial, so it's kind of hard to see. But you know, I'm still trying to like embrace it as an artist, like because I understand change and things, you know, always have to kind of morph. Like I don't know, I hated on street art for a long time, and now I'm just like, wow, there's actually like what else could it be for so long? Just letters and stuff forever? Like nah, like, you know what I mean? Like things are just always changing, man.
Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting perspective, especially coming from a self-prescribed purist, and I feel that it's hard for me, man, because the thing is that also brings about, like, I feel you, like, yeah, it's stuff changes, but then also the fuck shit comes in the
Yeah.
play, and that's when it's like, and then you put your foot down, and then it's like, oh, it's too late because we should have said something earlier. I mean, so that's the thing, like with all the elements, the fuck shit comes in too when you kind of say, oh, this is cool. So I mean, I don't want to hate on street art, but it's like certain shit's fucked up. Like for instance, here I live in Pittsburgh right now, and so here they buff everything quick, tags, marker tags, anything, stickers gone day after. But like there's murals,
It's like
there's
conservative.
street art. Yeah, there's murals and street art all over the place. And then there's one place where you can tag this trolley and do this trolley, but nowhere else. I mean, so it's just like, but
oh, it's like controlled
street. Yeah, so but then there's a lot street art pieces all over the place, but the graff, you know what I mean, they don't want to hear. So that's the thing, which sometimes it gets.
I feel you. I definitely see that. I mean, like I said, my sort of outlook on it has changed. Like I don't know. I have friends that are like, it's strange. I have friends that do street art now, like you know, like they're more into the paste or they're more into the posters or stickers or whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm not hating. You know,
yeah.
Like, do your thing. You know, whatever floats your boat.
Right.
But
no, yo, did you have anything you wanted to you were gonna try to show?
Oh, I don't even know how to show it because I have such a little ghetto setup. But I was just really gonna.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe you'd have to hold it up because here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, so.
I would just like kind of like scroll through some of these, man, because I'm actually in the process of scanning all of these old hard copy photos and you know, putting a book together because it's just 3 decades of actually.
You're putting a book together.
Yeah.
Yo, you were hitting the freights too, right? I saw some shit.
Forever, man, forever. It's always been a passion to do the steel. That's like kind of where I feel like.
What's that experience like? I never got to get up on those.
On freights?
No, it was my graff shit was very quick, yo, because I got hit with 2 big charges, like out pretty much within like 5 years of writing. So
yeah, dude, I took a couple L's myself. I to be real, caught a F for the shit and had to pay restitution and do community service. And so I paid my dues. I already know what you're talking about. Like, I think anybody who does it for, you know, either they do it and get discouraged and stop, or they don't and they just keep going. Like, yeah, I got smarter and learned how to do it on the low or not get caught.
I had a young kid, man, so I had to like be responsible. I couldn't be, if I was gonna go to jail, it was gonna be for something more than graffiti. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So,
Yeah, no,
but
I hear
but
that too.
I still, I mean, the marker stays on deck though. So I mean, I still, it's a, you know what I mean.
That's cool. You get up a little bit.
Got it.
Yeah, I kind of keep some stickers on hand and maybe
Yeah,
do a streak around, but
get my slap game on. Yo, so like, what's the experience like for you? Like or like the freight wise, man. Like I mean, like
it's a whole culture, man. I never tried to be like king of it because I've tried to just be versatile in my art stuff. But like shit, man, it's like it's really fucking
have
a
you seen your
culture.
shit like in other? Have people sent like pictures? Have you seen your shit in like other spots and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, all over. Yeah, that's what I love about it. That's what I'm saying. It's like nationwide. It goes even further to Canada, Mexico. It's like it really people bench these flicks all over the place, and it's exciting, man. It's cool. It's like it's dope that a lot of the homies are still doing it, like still putting in work. And it's like I have homies that are 50 still doing freights, like you know what I mean, like straight up, like
Word.
they either they do cannabis or they're in they're in art or they're in music, and they do their thing and then they go do their trains, and it's all about the numbers. I've heard that, like talking numbers with these dudes, like, yo, I did 56 end to ends, I did 9 whole cars, and I'm like, dude,
Wow.
you're a beast, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
I think my
Yo,
heyday was like 95 to like 2005. And I was
Okay.
lucky that I traveled, bro. I went to all the graffiti places I wanted to go. So like, I don't know, coming from the West Coast, I fell in love with San Francisco. Frisco was like my spot. So I went to college there. I went to SFSU San Francisco State, and just studied design and got to like, man, live the graffiti playground that was Frisco back then. You had the tunnels, you had the trains, you had the rooftops, you had the sunken pits that were all over the city, and the culture was like booming. You know what I mean? You had Twist and KR and all these dudes really crushing it. And then fast forward a decade later, I got to spend another 5 years in New York. So that's really where I kind of like got my real schooling. It's like like going to Mecca and like meeting the kings. You know what I mean? I shook hands with Stay High and met Tracy 168 and all these legends that I looked up to, just studying the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Yo, somebody put a comment. I did community service with you on the beach. That's what it's like out in LA. You guys get community service on the beach?
God. I got to follow this person, man, because actually I have a crazy story. Like I was doing cleanup on the beach in Venice, and this one dude was like, yo, you from West Coast? WCA? And I was like, yeah, those are my boys. He's like, Rival? I was like, dude, Rival put me in, Rival and Whisk. He was like, bro, I'm going to bless you. I have all these hard copy photos. And he showed up to the next day to clean up at like 5 a.m. with these fucking sick ass like books that I ended up, flicks that I ended up giving to Whisk for a book for the Los Angeles graffiti book. But man, he gave me some relics, and it's just like, wow, like to think like back then, that's what it was about, dude. We didn't have magazines, nothing. We traded flicks. We sent them in the mail. We, I'm talking like almost pre-magazine, like right when magazines and like the Source started digging up graff. You know what I mean?
No, it was different, man. It was before that, and I started like around like I started writing in 93, and so it was by the time the magazines there's some magazines and stuff were out, but it was like, it was a different game, man. It was a different game, and I've heard stories about like people, like right now, my man, he's UTI crew. My man, big up to my man Fu. He was like, yo, there's kids out in LA that are like teenagers, and they have their parents drive them to the hood and do like pieces, and then they take the picture and like they were in the hood and like post it like they're out like chilling in the projects and shit.
There's all kinds of, motherfuckers Photoshop and shit. That's graffiti lives in the streets, man. Like what you see out there is really is what's up.
Right. That's the thing. It's a street thing, and I always tell people, yo, what separates it from the other elements. It's the one element of hip hop that's illegal. You know what I mean? Like,
it's kind of unfortunate. We never really got our shine. I feel like graffiti artists are like the last people to get paid within the culture. Like we've dedicated decades to this culture and painted for the love, bro. Like for the addiction, for the real, you know, like passion for the culture. And that's why I'm fuck with you, my man, because I see, you know, all the shit you post. I'm like, yeah, this dude knows what's up. Like, it's about the culture. It's not, you know, we're doing this for the love, man.
Yeah, it's about all of that. But let me ask you a question though. Don't you think though that's a product of being a writer? Because you know, writers are like ninja cats. Don't talk to anybody. I know a writer, yo. I tried to get him on the show. He was like, yo, I don't even FaceTime with my wife. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. And, you know, I was going to wear glasses or whatever, but, you know, like, I'm pretty much retired, my G. Like, you know, I'm like just kind of going into other things. And like, I understand, like, actually, to be real, like my whole shit, my whole like Trixter, like this villainous, like creature that, not creature, but this character that's like mysterious, right? Like you never see, like that's the whole thing about, that's the whole draw about graffiti, right? It's like not knowing the face, but
So
things have changed, right?
Right.
Things have changed a lot, and it's not all the purities we tried to hold on to are like pretty much like it's a wrap. Like just let it. I don't know. It is what it is now. It's something different. You know, it's graffiti art.
But yeah, I want to hear about Oakland because a lot of people have been in the chat and they were like, asking about Oakland. So like, I mean, you said San Fran. I mean, obviously the Bay's right there. I mean, it's all right there. But like, were you were living out there?
Well, I lived in the city. I went to school there, but yeah, Oakland has.
I love Oakland.
Yeah, it's like the home of the funk, right? In many aspects.
Oakland's like an East Coast, West Coast city to me.
I love it. Yeah. It's really the birthplace of so many things, like within music, within culture. It's you know what I mean? Like it really feels like that. A lot of my homies still stay there. I feel like, as far as graffiti is concerned, Dream TDK, rest in peace, is like the unspoken king of Oakland in my mind. You know what I mean? That TDK fam, Piece of Spy, and you know, like all those cats are really who I think of when I think of Oakland. You know, like an FSC crew who kind of holds down Berkeley, and like yeah, Oakland, man, I left a piece of my heart there because it's like also a graffiti playground. Like you got the tracks. Mentioning Dream, like that was like the famous spot was like the 23rd Street tracks in Oakland. So if you went to go do pieces there, you're going to like the Oakland Hall of Fame. Right. You know, that was some shit. Like, yeah, it was like a train yard plus the walls on the side. So it's kind of like if you're lucky, you'd go there and get a train and hit the wall, you know? So yeah, Oakland's dope, man. Yeah, I haven't been back in years, but there's a lot of graffiti out there. A lot of heads just bombing Oakland, you know, rooftops and shit.
Who are some of your legends, your all-timers?
Shit, man. I come from like a lineage of like really crazy, you know, I don't know, the bar was so high back then to like get in a crew like West Coast. So when I think of like my influences, a lot of them stem back to that because I had like close relation, like something like my homie Monk, rest in peace, my homie PJ, rest in peace, Rival, rest in peace. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, these guys that started this crew back in '85, they all were just like in their own right, like masters of the art, you know. And when I said the bar was high, it was like you had to put in a certain amount of work to get in these crews, like in West Coast. So like, but my legends aren't just that, you know. Like I think about, we were talking about it earlier. Like I was a student of the culture, always have been. So like, you know. Those subway writers like Dondi, I feel like that's everybody's like favorite writer in a sense. Like he kind of is really a pivotal dude. Of course. You know, Phase 2, rest in peace. One of the all-time greatest kings, I feel like. Wild style master, you know. Shit. Because I'm mixing up like my my close influences, like people that were close to me, and the people that I looked up to that I
Right.
had never met.
Right,
You know?
of course.
There's tons of people. I mentioned JoJo earlier. He was one of the dudes. He came from Philly. He just showed me nasty, fucking crazy hand styles that were like diamond style or like backwards, upside down, tags with characters, tags with different shit that I wasn't seeing. Like everyone just kind of wrote their name real boring and shit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the Philly hands are nuts, man.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like
big up to my
I
guy,
can't wait
NM.
for you to have a Philly writer on here, like maybe Enum, dude. Enum.
Yeah, I have. That's what I just said. Big up to my man, NM. Yeah, that's my man, you know. So he was on.
Yeah,
we've had him.
Because I see him getting on the gram and stuff, and he's hosting these like hand style battles with another Instagram. So it's kind of cool. He's like kind of judging, like getting
dope.
people to. Yeah, you already know.
I've had him on. It was a dope build we had. He's a good dude. So yeah.
Yeah, he's from TDK also. I mentioned those cats, man. They're a legendary, Bay Area crew. Yeah, man, shoot some questions. I kind of was talking a lot before. Like I realized you didn't really ask me much.
Listen, this is how I always say. That's why I have told you before. I say our talks are, I call them conversations. They're not interviews, I mean,
exactly.
We're just chilling, chopping it up, getting to know each other. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Like most of these, I usually don't even have people on that I'm not already like vibing with. You know what I mean? Because there's no point. So like, this is like, I'm legitimately interested in what you have to say. So I'm just like sitting here like, so it's no biggie. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I close the computer when I have guests on, and we just they rock, and it's all good, right. I mean? So it ain't shit because people want to hear you, and wherever it goes, if you got the story, because the kid said that you guys were on the doing fucking community service on the beach, only in Cali.
Yeah, that's crazy. You need to tell me who that was because I can't even I'm looking at the names, but
he started following me. I'll send you the thing.
That's what's up.
I don't know if he jumped back on. He started following me. I
want to find the dude that gave me those flicks because it like blew my mind. Like that part of the story was crazy. But anyways,
So how can people like you know what I'm saying? You do have a lot of other stuff going on. So as far as like the merch and stuff, I was like, damn, I gotta give me like a pin or some shit or something on there, So like, what's the deal? You got like a lot of. I mean, I was dope to see that you like the evolution of like, you're about all the hip hop, everything. You're on my page all the time. You know what I'm saying? And your comments are like knowledgeable and stuff. I'm like, all right, this cat's about it. But you elevated and your business and business minded about it. Clean website, dope website. So what's going on like on that front for you?
I've shifted like a lot of focus like for the last year, like doing digital works and like got into NFTs a little bit and like started building some projects. And unfortunately, like the market all shifted, so I'm just kind of got some things in the pipeline. Started working with my stepdad actually, who's a fucking Marvel artist, dude. He's a badass 3D Marvel artist by the name of Tully Summers, and it's cool to like be working with family. So yeah, that, and I have my homie Corey from builddestroy.com. He does a gang of shit. He's like master animator and artist dude that I've built with for like 10 years. So he's got me a lot of commercial work over the years, and kind of just been trying to do more art shit and learn some more skills. Like I think it was kind of like a theme during COVID to just kind of buckle down and like expand your repertoire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started trying to do like digital painting and even trying some different mediums, some, oils or watercolors, and just kind of like, because I think I really got overly obsessed and pigeonholed into graffiti. And I feel like I came from such a crazy mixed art background. My mom was a sculptor and painter. And like, so I never really explored like the other side of like what is non-graffiti in art. And so I'm just now getting a chance to do that, and it's dope. So I feel blessed to like have like ridden that like thin line between what I love to do and like what's lucrative, and it's cool. I've been super blessed with that, and just have a cool tight little like a few people that I work with, and I'm just now kind of getting into like the cannabis industry, doing some packaging for the homies, and like seeing if I can do some long-term stuff with that. there's so many things going on. It's cool. It's like you almost have to just focus on one thing. So what I'm doing right now is what I mentioned is like getting my flicks organized for a book. Because after 30 years of doing all these pieces, it's like I want to see the shit laid out in a book format.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck,
Nah.
you know what I'm saying? Fuck, like I'm just do it.
Yeah, when you mentioned that earlier, a lot of people said that would be dope. So yeah, please, that's because again, I mean, well, just real quick, like hip hop culture is typically not documented very well, right? So like,
yes, dude, that you hit the nail on the head, bro. Because
so it's important that we're doing these having these conversations. And
no doubt, that's why I'm here, bro. Because the shit is important. I actually did this whole thing with my boy Adam Fu from New York. He's like my old bombing partner from Frisco. He does My Life in Letters podcast. So it was really the first time I got to like think about it, like shit, like, you know, this is important. This is like the fabric of the culture. And like, you know, anybody who's been doing something that long, it's like you become sort of like, you know, a figure in that art. And it's cool. Like I've gotten a lot of recognition, like just randomly, like people just reach out, you know, and it's cool. But what was I saying? Like really the thing about the book is that the nature of this art that we're doing, it's temporary, dude. It's here today, gone tomorrow. Like it's either buffed or it's gone over or it's dissed or it's, you know what I'm saying? God knows what. Like some buildings get demolished. Like the shit is crazy. Like, so that's what really made me think like, fuck, that's why I'm pivoting to like the fine art. Cause like some of the canvases I did 10 years ago are still hanging in the homie's crib. And like all the other pieces I did are dead and gone or buffed over or you know what I mean? So I feel like shit, it's only right to like kind of make that piece live on longer and document it in a way where people will see it, you know, in a presented in a way that's like historical and a fact of like, I'm going to cover 3 decades of pieces, like thousands of like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, nah. You told me you go, I'm gonna send you a couple pieces or something like that, and then my thing was just my phone was like ding, 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 ding.
I know, I didn't even, dude. I realized when I looked back, I was like, damn, I just blew this dude up with like a million. I thought you were just gonna scroll on the phone. I thought you could do it. That's why I was pulling up flicks, just because kind of it's like eye candy for folks when you know, like shit.
Yeah. So
honestly, all these flicks that you're gonna see are like decades old. This is my Flickr account from like God knows how long ago.
Yeah, no, that's dope. You know, that's and so we can't wait to get into that. So we gotta get ready to roll out. I'm gonna patch this footage up. I don't want to lose this piece either. So, but I didn't lose anything. So we
good, man. We good. We'll do it again. Actually,
actually, we will, yo. And I'll have to look you up when I'm out in LA, man. You know what I'm saying? Catch up. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No doubt. I'll definitely show you the spots or whatever. Meet you in Venice. Fucking show
you. Yeah, that'd be dope. I used to live in Hawthorne when I was a kid. In Hawthorne and Inglewood. So.
Oh, word. My folks are in Westchester. So yeah, LA all day. It's such a cool, like, I have walls too for the homies that come to town. You know, FYI, whoever's watching, like, you know, I love the traveling aspect. So like, if homies come to town, I try to host them or whatever, like get you on a wall or do something. I'm going out to Copenhagen to paint soon with Bates from WCA also. So
nice.
Yeah, it's always about that documenting and traveling and painting and just keep doing your thing and like expanding as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's dope, yo. And I appreciate you for rocking with us. This is episode 99. Trixter, LA writer, grizzled vet with like mad shit. And we're going to get this footage up on YouTube, as all of our builds are. And we're about to go live with our people saving hip hop culture for our debut show, the after party, because it comes after this shit. So it's fitting. So we're about to rock and talk. We're going to talk graffiti and we're going to talk hip hop on the next, right after. So rock with us. Rock with Trixter. You can fuck with the merch. You know what I'm saying? Carrying the culture.
Y'all put some more shit up. I've been holding back. I got tons of shit in the work. So yeah. You'll be hearing from me, bro.
Oh, we're
be in touch anyways.
We'll keep the lines of communication open, of course, man. This is like once we have the conversation, then it's like, you know, it's other shit. You know what I mean? Like,
love, yeah. And I see your shows, man. I'm watching all the other ones. Like I love Brother Jay and Elder Sensei and all these dudes are like, you know, idols to me, man, growing up in hip hop. So
it's dope. So appreciate you, man. So appreciate everybody that was in here being patient with us. We didn't get this footage. We're gonna save it. And we're about to be live in like 2 minutes. So with our people save hip hop culture. All right, y'all.
Peace, man.
Peace.